So after SummerSlam happened and Seth Rollins accidentally injured Finn Balor during their match, which is now hotly debated, is Seth Rollins a dangerous worker? And everyone's also finding the irony in like, wait a second, he's used the curb stunt how many times and he's never injured anybody, but when he does the buckle bomb, he injures people. Like Sting and now Finn Balor. And like, look what happened to Sting. His career ended. And you can't really say Cena because that was a knee to the face. So yeah, everyone's finding the irony in that because they banned the curb stomp because they thought it would be potentially dangerous, and yet the buckle bomb is yet the one injuring people. So now there's word going around like, sure, they banned the move and whatnot. So okay, yeah, it's debated right now, and Seth Rollins didn't do it in this match, so it might be true that they banned it because it felt like it was the last straw. So after that, but enough of the tangent. After that, Finn Balor came on Raw the next night after SummerSlam and relinquished the Universal title. And the less I talk about the Universal title as the subject, the better, because I ranted about that for God knows how many minutes in the SummerSlam video. And Rollins went ahead and decided to cheap heat everybody by getting a cheap heat by saying, this beautiful, exquisite design. And I'm like, okay, you had to have known yourself that was a cheap shot. Like, everyone hates it. You're just trying to get a cheap shot. Like, you're better than this, Rollins. Heck, even Kevin Owens probably would just look at that and say, whatever. But, so they decided to do a big Fatal 4-Way Elimination match progress last week with Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho, Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus Neville, let's see, Big Cass versus Rusev. And that confused me for one reason is like, wait a second. Neville and Rusev weren't even a part of this. They were not even a part of this. And you're putting them in this match because, in fact, why didn't you put Enzo against Chris Jericho? But yeah, try to make a honor among friends fight with having Big Cass go against Enzo. Let the smallest guy in the room take on the biggest guy in the room. That would have been interesting, but no, we can't do that. We need to shove these other two participants in. We did not count how many people would be in this match. And then everyone was being hyped up for, oh, well, this is going to be an interesting Fatal 4-Way. Like, there were a lot of word going around about who was going to win the title. Like, word was going around that Roman Reigns was going to get pushed as the top face again. And then a report came out that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins would be turning heel, would be switching roles at the end of the year. And then another report came out that Seth Rollins would be winning the Universal title. And then after that, is the same reports all over again. Is Roman Reigns turning heel? Is Seth Rollins turning face? Is Seth Rollins winning the title and going on a heel run again? And hopefully much better than what happened last time he was champion. But I digress. So, despite the fact that the focus on the internet was all about Roman Reigns, oh, he's getting the push again, and then there was Seth Rollins, and everyone was like, oh, we don't want him to be world champion. Not because he's bad at it, it's because booking will screw him over. And then everyone knew Big Cass wasn't going to win the belt because he's not ready for that kind of mantle of responsibility yet. But ultimately, like, he carried himself well during this whole program, but like, is he really ready for this kind of responsibility to be given the belt this quickly so soon in his first few months in the ring, on the main roster at least? We don't know. And like, he was pretty much the dark horse in this coming into this match. Like, everyone was surprised he was gonna be in the main event of Raw like this. Like, they gave him a main event time, like a main event sample at one point with Chris Jericho a few months back, but really that sample expired right before the show ended, so basically that was pretty much pointless. So, could Cass really hold his own in the main event of Raw, especially for the Universal title? Well, we would find out later on. So after that, Kevin like everyone was like, okay, it was Monday night. I was preparing for Raw. I just got off of work. I was on my phone. I was on Twitter, looking around, seeing a whole bunch of polls saying, "Oh, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?" And like they said, and everyone was saying like, "Who do you think's gonna win the Fatal 4-Way match?" Oh, everyone voted. Mostly everybody voted for Seth Rollins. And then when people said, "Who do you think should win the Fatal 4-Way match?" and everyone said Kevin Owens, I said Kevin Owens because I wanted Kevin Owens to win because, well, he was screwed out of the U.S. title because Kevin Dunn is a stupid bastard and vindictive because of his weight. Yeah, that's true. If you haven't seen a video I published earlier last year, like, because he was fat, that was the reason, according to Kevin Dunn's eyes. Let's see, and John Cena's ego, and then he was Intercontinental Champion for 63 days, and that was pretty pointless. I wanted him to go longer. Then he won the Intercontinental title again and lost at WrestleMania about a month later. So that was also pretty pointless, and he was originally supposed to retain the belt, as reports were saying. And then and then he was supposed to win Money in the Bank contract, and then Roman Reigns got in trouble, and then they had to change plans again. Okay, I can't blame WWE for that part, but like, yeah, I could, but I don't need to. It would have been awesome to see Kevin Owens with the Money in the Bank contract, considering he's already cool enough as it is. Let's just add more cool stuff to him. Like, let's give him the Money in the Bank contract, see how he does with it. In fact, even management was like, you know, he'd be perfect for the Money in the Bank contract. Like, he'd probably be the best Money in the Bank contract holder since Edge. Like, Rollins was alright. He was probably the second best at the time right now. But if Kevin Owens won the Money in the Bank contract, he would have knocked it out of the park. Okay, scratch that. He would knock it out of the park and then hit the headlights and cause them to blow up. That's the best way to describe this this potential that Kevin Owens could have had regarding the Money in the Bank contract. And then he just feuded with Sami Zayn for a bit, lost that feud once and for all, for now at least. And now here he is in the main event, and everyone was rooting for Kevin Owens. Like when Monday Night Raw started, um, everyone was chanting for Kevin Owens, and like Kevin Owens looked at this for flattery, and like even he was acting all like, God, that guy is so cool. Regarding how he's acting all the happy innocent guy for 1 second because he thinks this is some sort of group therapy, and then he just dissolves into his Kevin Owens self and just lashes out on everybody. No, except for Seth Rollins because, well, Seth Rollins and him were heels. They had to act like cool guys. And like then Roman Reigns sucker punched Kevin Owens, which basically meant he did not say any dialogue. So basically, yeah, best promo to date. Well, I'm just kidding. Like Roman Reigns has cut some good promos at times when he's allowed to be himself, not these force-handed scripts that Vince McMahon gives him. Like, okay, say this. What? No, no, no. You're not supposed to be serious. You're supposed to be John Cena. Cena, look at me. Oh, sorry. I meant to call you Reigns. Look, Reigns, just try to be John Cena, okay? Like, everybody loves John Cena. Well, except for those hardcore fans, and apparently a lot of casual fans hate you, but, yeah, John Cena, he's perfect. So, yeah, that's pretty much my best way to interpret what Vince McMahon was thinking. So, now they did a series of vignettes all throughout Raw, heading into this Fatal 4-Way match. And this match was scheduled to take place around 10:32 when I was watching it, so we were gonna get like maybe a less than 30 minutes, maybe 20-minute match, depending on how long the entrances take. And when they cut the commercial, they still hadn't rung the bell, so that was 5 minutes down. So yeah, the match officially started at 10:40. So they went 8 minutes with a couple of minutes with entrances. They went ahead and just stood there glaring at each other for 4 minutes, for 5 minutes straight. So I'm trying to wonder what the hell happened there. I'm like, I wonder how the fans were thinking. Like, they were just like, "Come on, ring the bell already!" Like, you're appeasing to a live audience here. Like, I know you got TV fans anticipating this match, but like, come on, like, don't just stand there. Like this reminds me of what happened a few years back when I went to a Ross show. It was being taped, and the Shield were coming out to do a handicap match with Ryback, and they just stood there for like 5 minutes posing and trying to get ready for glaring at the stage, waiting for Ryback. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of get it if it was a live show, but this is taped. So why not just do this for like 30 seconds, like cut at 15 seconds, then go back and act like they just stood there for 5 minutes during the commercial break, and just quickly go ahead and get this over with. No, no, no. We need to whet the fans' appetite. You see, that's the way things go here in a taped environment. I mean, like, it's not like we could just do things quick. Like, that would be ridiculous. I should know. I'm Vincent Kennedy McMahon, damn it. I know everything. But, besides me ranting about Vince McMahon and his senile ways, this was ultimately a great match. Kevin Owens immediately gets out of the ring, acting all cool and whatnot. Like, look at them fighting amongst themselves. Ain't that pathetic? Like that's the best way, because he was like leaning on the barricade, looking at Mick and Steph. Like, look at them, so pathetic. Meanwhile, we sophisticated people are watching this. Like, if Kevin Owens actually had said that, I probably would have said, okay, yeah, you just stole the show. Oh, wait, you already do steal the show every single week with the way you act. Oh, man. This is what happens when you give the power of be yourself. Basically, be whatever you want to be in that ring. So, Big Cass surprised everyone to show that he could hang in the main event scene. Like, I didn't think he was still ready for the world title, but I'm still calling it the world title because just calling it the Universal title is just, like, stupid. Like, it's, like, I get they're trying to honor, and I've used that term loosely because WWE has been known to put the middle finger up in front of the fans, the WWE Universe, but it just comes across like, okay, how do we make a new world title? We need to get one for Raw. How do we do this? We could bring back the World Heavyweight title. That trash? I'm like, sure, it's like nearly 100 years old. It has over 20 years of prestige, and it dates back to a century ago with the NWA belt, but come on. That's just stupid. Wait, I got it. What if we could create a universal belt? And Vince McMahon takes off his sunglasses and is like, that's just crazy. It might just work. Let's call it the Universal Championship. Or as I like to call it, the Super Duper Mega World Championship, because it's just a bigger name. But I've ranted about that enough in my SummerSlam video. So Big Cass could hang with the main event crowd. Like, he has the charisma, he has the skills. He just needs to be given longer matches in order to truly stand out. Like maybe stand up to Braun Strowman for a bit. And like, I know Braun Strowman and Big Cass might not have the best chemistry because, well, two big guys going at it in the ring for their size, that's never worked out. Like Big Show Khali kind of leads to problems. And not the good ones. Or Mark Henry and Big Show. They're two giants, and, well, slow mobility causes the match to really steam down. I'm like, if you had no DQ, then maybe it could work. Like, it worked for Roman Reigns and Big Show, and they had bad chemistry most of the time. They could try to get a good match sometimes, good quality moments, but good matches overall, no. Except for a last man standing match that got Big Show his biggest rating yet, 4 out of 5 stars by Dave Meltzer. But moving on, Big Cass was really impressive. Like, his biggest breakout moment was actually two things. One was the big boot driving Reigns out of the ring and him onto the floor, and him taking out everybody with his big boot. Like Ryan Delbert on Bleacher Report said best, before Big Cass's elimination, he looked like a world beater. He was a giant among men, flooring each of his foe with his massive boot. So, yeah, that's the best way to describe Big Cass. Like, he was not in there for long. Well, I can't really say that. It felt like 10 minutes was in there. I was like, wow, that was much. much longer than I thought he was going to be. Like, I thought they were going to take him out first, like, take out the Giant first. Like The Rock, Triple H, and McFoley did back at WrestleMania 2000 when they took out the Big Show. So, that surprised me. Like, I knew he was going to go out first because, well, he's the dark horse. Well, we have to get rid of the dark horse. And then, surprisingly, Kevin Owens did use his finisher in this match. Like, he would attempt to, but ultimately did not use his finisher. It would have been interesting to see him powerbomb Big Cass. That actually would have been interesting. Like, he powerbombed Mark Henry with these. Let's see if he can powerbomb a 7-foot guy. And Kevin Owens, before I get back to that, posted on Twitter that says, "Tonight, I will destroy a 7-foot giant. I will show the architect his rubble," or something like that. "And soon, I will destroy an empire." And I'm like, why is this guy so cool? Why? Why, man? But Roman Reigns did everything he could. Like, he started getting cheers on him going at the end of everything. Like, everything was going well for him. Like, he was booed at the beginning of the show because, well, he's Roman Reigns. We have to hate somebody for some reason, even though he's not heel and he hasn't technically done anything wrong. I mean, like, if you count the drug incident, like, I could get that, but, like, we don't know the full story yet. Like, did he do it willingly? Did he take substances willingly? Did he accidentally found traces in his bloodstream, like they did with Shawn Michaels? Or was this just, like, prescription-wise, and yet WWE decided not to do anything like they did with Adam Rose? Like, those are my 3 top theories, and it could go either way, but we have not gotten the full story on that. Like, we know what it was, Adderall, but we don't know if he took it as an addiction. We don't know if it was just found in his bloodstream, and we also don't know if he had a prescription. So let's not judge him yet just because, oh, he got suspended. That means he was a drug addict. And Sabu went ahead and said, "Oh, I hope he overdosed himself." And you have some people actually agreeing with him on Twitter. I wonder if he deleted that. Anyways, Roman Reigns was finally getting some momentum going. Like, he did a Superman punch on Rollins when he was in the air, which was awesome. Then Kevin Owens tried to do the pop-up powerbomb on him and Superman punch on that. Like, it was not as great as the first time it happened when he was in the air. Like, that was more memorable than the second one that we got on the Fatal 4-Way match. Oh, by the way, which had become an elimination match during the show right at the beginning. Way to inform us. Anyways, everything is in chaos. Kevin Owens is doing the smart thing and basically being the Seth Rollins that Seth Rollins should have been during his title reign. Being the mischievous, crafty, conniving SOB that he should be, that you just want to see destroyed in the ring, and yet they made him an absolute weakling. Like, he lost to J&J Security. And look how they're booked. Oh, wait, they haven't been seen since. Like, Jamie Noble was seen on SmackDown just a few weeks ago, keeping security at bay between Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles, so at least Jamie Noble's alright. Like, reportedly last time we heard from him, he got glassed in him when Brock Lesnar broke the car back last year, so at least he's alright. So, anyways, Roman Reigns did great. Big Cass showed he can hang in the main event scene. Seth Rollins does what he does best. Basically, be CrossFit Jesus to many people and be the architect. Kevin Owens, the guy you just want to hate, but is acts so cool and whatnot, nonchalant about everything. You just can't help but say, I like him. He's actually cool. The guy that people wish he could be is a defiant, no nonsense, I could do this, I could do that, and no one's going to stop me mentality. And yet there's a little society that prevents that, and thank God there is, or else everything would be chaos and anarchy. My God, our future is screwed. But that's But ranting on humanity as a whole would take forever for me, since I have a lot of stuff to say about that, and I'm not ever talking about that in a video, since I would piss off too many people, most likely. Well, maybe except Alpha Omega Sin, he probably would agree with me on most parts, since he's one of my favorite guys on YouTube. But well, moving on from that, uh, let's see. And when Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were brawling, Kevin Owens came out and Kevin Owens came back into the ring and super kicked them both, and then started doing his cannonball maneuver on both of them, which was awesome. And then afterwards, Roman Reigns got the momentum back up and took them both out. And then this is where everything gets shocking. Triple H returns. Like, I was not hearing any of this. Like, I know he's backstage, but I didn't expect him to return. Like, I knew he was going to finish business with Roman Reigns eventually, but, like, yeah, I wasn't expecting it. Like, there was no report, there was no nothing. This was generally surprising. So Triple H came back, pedigreed Roman Reigns just when he was about to get the wins on both of them to eliminate both of them and win the Universal title. He pedigrees him on the barricade floor and gets Rollins into the ring with him and gets the 3 count to eliminate Roman Reigns. And I was surprised by that. I was like, okay, I was actually expecting Roman Reigns to be the second last guy in the ring. Like, Seth Rollins would be fighting and Seth Rollins would win. And then he brought Kevin Owens to the ring, and Seth Rollins is smirking and laughing like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. We're so going to do this. And then Triple H turns on Seth Rollins. He gives him a pedigree. And the audience lost it. In a good way. Like, I knew they were going to do Triple H versus Seth Rollins eventually, but I've been hearing that now. I'm hearing a report that they're planning to do that for WrestleMania next year, and it was one of the original plans that heading into WrestleMania this year, that or the Shield Triple Threat match had Rollins not gotten injured. But Seth Rollins got hurt, and we can't do anything, and that's in the past now. Redesign, rebuild, reclaim, pretty much. And then he helps Kevin Owens get the victory. And Triple H, Triple H did one thing that did stand out as noticeable, is that he wasn't smirking, he wasn't laughing, he wasn't happy about it. It's like he was scowling, being all mad, like he didn't want to do this, but Seth Rollins might have done something that pissed him off. Like he seemed like he was looking at Seth Rollins the whole time when he was like scowling at him. And Kevin Owens did the best thing in the ring. He looked shocked, generally shocked. Like this was not planned. He was never told. Like we're gonna shock him. Like we're gonna give him a big present on his surprise birthday. Like this is gonna be a total shocker. Like Kevin Owens is this charismatically great. Like I generally thought for a moment, like did they planned this at the last second and no one told anybody? Like Triple H might have told Seth Rollins when he was talking to him, but he didn't tell Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens is generally shocked by this. Because Kevin Owens gets emotional when he's heading back into the back, about to cry. His face is red, he's about to cry, but first he's celebrating, and the fans are chanting despite the fact that Kevin Owens won dirty, saying, "You deserve it! You deserve it! You deserve it!" So that shows how popular Kevin Owens is, despite his heel status. Seth Rollins is now a face. Roman Reigns is in limbo right now. Maybe he'll go back to his feud with Rusev and recapture the U.S. title. I was honestly expecting Rusev to get involved in this match, but I'm surprised they didn't do that. In fact, he didn't show up at all in this episode. He was on WWE Superstars. Yeah, it was WWE Superstars beating Jack Swagger, so yeah, that sucks for him, at least. So now the big question is, where does this all go? Has Triple H gone rogue? Like, is he working on his own? Why does he have it out for Rollins? Is Triple H going to have Kevin Owens be his new protege and student of the game, pretty much? And it'd be interesting to see Triple H serve as a manager for Kevin Owens, but at the same time, Kevin Owens can stand on his own. And, like, he already has Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho's all congratulatory on this. So, 2 managers? No, I don't see that ever happening. So, maybe if there was a conflict of interest and it led to Triple H versus Chris Jericho first, that actually would be interesting. But anyways, Triple H is a heel still, but he was getting cheered as a face when he pedigreed Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins is frustrated. He was mad and yelled at Stephanie Mick asking what the hell happened and like, did you two know about this? So now Seth Rollins is most likely a face now, and he's going to go after Triple H heading into WrestleMania next year. It's just how are they going to build this up? Like, they did it well. They did it all right with Roman Reigns and Triple H. Like, it was at the end of December, and then they built up with the Royal Rumble, and then it did a filler match with Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose to build it up with two more contenders, and then did WrestleMania. So the big question is, well, where does this go? Like, it's very interesting where Kevin Owens is going to go. Like, I was really proud for Kevin Owens. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, everyone wanted him to win the match, and WWE, for once, one of the few times, actually, gave us what we wanted. And it was in a shocking fashion because we thought, oh, Kevin Owens is never going to be the world champion because management hates a guy that is not Roman Reigns or Big Cass or John Cena. But here's the catch. Kevin Owens is a Triple H guy. He has Triple H's support, and Triple H has a lot of leeway when it comes to the creative side of WWE. Though that's kind of hotly debated on creativity, but that's beside the point. I'm not saying the creative team is stupid, even though everyone likes to make that image of them, like a bunch of monkeys. But I'm pretty sure they have tried to come up with great ideas, and Vince McMahon just said, no, 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 I'll rewrite the whole show. You're all useless to me anyways. That's the best way, and also you have Kevin Dunn barking at the creative team as well, saying, no, no, we can't do this, we can't do that, that's too good, that's too good. Like even on SmackDown Talking Smack, like Daniel Bryan kind of broke character on the new Talking. I'm like, since this is recorded right after SmackDown at the time of this video, Daniel Bryan talked about how Talking Smack is on Talking Smack. He said that the producer said no more Miz and Daniel Bryan segments. Fuck you, WWE. You're taking the Miz's hot momentum and just nope, nope. That's too good. We can't do that. Like one step forward, two steps back, pretty much. So let's hope they don't screw up Kevin Owens, like they don't turn him into another Seth Rollins WWE champion reign. Like that was a complete disaster. And like Seth Rollins tried to do the best he could, but the material he was forced to be given, that wasn't really good work. Like they didn't make him the Seth Rollins of 2013, 2014, and early 2015. They just turned him into a wimp. Like a good wrestler, but in terms of how he was being built up and how he was being promoted throughout the ring, like it was really sad. Like I was like, this is the guy that broke the ribs of the Beast and did it like a boss. This is how you treat him now, WWE? Like, man, I bet Kevin Owens getting enjoyment out of this. And I went on Twitter and congratulated Kevin Owens on his big victory. And I was like, oh, I bet Kevin Dunn is fuming to see yet another NXT guy win the world title, or the Universal title in this case. Like, I bet he's fuming to see more Triple H guys get the opportunity where his is big men and destruction, and I hate these NXT guys. These non-NXT users are my favorites, like Big Show and Kane. No, Kevin Dunn, you want to save your job. Since Triple H and Stephanie don't like you, why not prove to them that you're actually a capable employee that can be trusted, not just an egomaniac who's lost all logic and whispers into Vince's ear while screwing our wallets and saying, screw these NXT guys, they're pathetic, they don't have any talent, they're overrated. Okay, I get this. Like, my dad is your friend, he died for you. Like, he worked for you. Do this. Okay, good. Okay, suck it, Triple H. You can suck it. And your NXT guys. So, I know this video got off topic a lot of times, but like, Ah, man. Like, this is possibly WWE's mentality as well. Like, they get off topic on everything and just go round and round and round until, like, everything's all chaos and anarchy there for them. So, those are my thoughts on Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus Big Cass on WWE Raw for the Universal Championship. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. If you like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for more.